I'm BugeyeBob, and I'm on a mission to resurrect this 1958 Austin Healey Mark I Sprite from this to this so it doesn't end up in this.
All right, BugeyeBob here again. Got the car up on the rotisserie, as you can see. And in the process of looking it over a little bit, I realized that I need to do a little bit more cleaning underneath of it. There were places where I couldn't get at when I was trying to wash it with a pressure washer before, but I can now. So that's going to be the next thing. I am going to pressure wash this a little bit, and then I will be back to show you some additional things that I found wrong with it. I don't think I'm going to cover any of the pressure washing because that just blows shit all over the place, and most of you have probably seen somebody run a pressure washer before. So be back in a few minutes.
Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. You can now make a one-time or recurring donation to help save Lazarus through PayPal. For less than the price of a cup of coffee each month, you can support this project as a member on Patreon. See the links in the description below.
So I spent, I don't know, 4 or 5, maybe 6 hours yesterday going through with the pressure washer, washing all the crap off that I could. Sometimes it worked good for blasting off the tar that they used as a seam sealer. Sometimes it didn't. So I started grabbing a trusty putty knife, and as long as the temperature of the seam sealer is below about, I should say tar, not seam sealer, but if it's below about 65 degrees or so, it actually kind of cracks off fairly easily, which is really nice when you can get big chunks off. If it gets up around 80, then it kind of smears off, and it's a real pain in the ass to dig the tar out. But what I want to do next is go over some additional damage that I found, because got to fix it all. So I guess the next thing to do is I'm going to grab the camera and hand hold it, which means it's going to be a little twitchy, but bear with me and we'll get this done. All right, let's start up front here. A little bit of damage here. This got bashed a little bit. That's easy to straighten out. Rust, I've got to figure out what to do about rust treatment. This got bent. This is bent here, needs to be straightened up. You can see the weld here where I welded pieces in. This piece is coming out. The inner and outer rocker panels are both coming out. There is damage to this piece, which has to be repaired, and damage to this toe plate, which has to be repaired. This is going to be repaired when I do the floor pans and the braces. This should be floor pan. These pieces here, the lower spring plates are coming out. Let's see. This piece right here is a piece that I do not see as being available to replace. So I don't know if they don't make that plate anymore, or if this was just something they put in a 1958 bug eyes. Gonna have to check into that. These are the spring boxes. Even though this looks rusted out, it's actually, the spring box itself looks fairly solid. This is the shock mount, I believe. It's not too bad. Up around here, I took off all of the tar seam sealer. That's not looking too bad. But right here, we have a pretty nasty dent. Now, let's look at the rest of the bottom real quick and we'll get to that. This is probably good. I'll have to replace the last, I don't know, 10, 12 inches of that. I can get a whole complete replacement rear floor, rear boot deck, but they are expensive. This outer wing needs to have the dents taken out. That needs to be straightened out. The inner panel here, excuse me, the inner panel here needs to be fixed. This has got a rust spot right there. That's going to have to be patched up. I saw another one right here. That's got to be patched up. That looks like it might be a dent right there too. And coming back here to the rear end, it was obviously bashed in. But what I don't understand is, despite the amount that this was bashed in, here, I mean, it's obvious it took a heat here. But what I don't understand is what would have resulted in this massive dent here. Unless when they were trying to straighten this part here out, they jammed a jack down in there and started jacking against this and was using this to try to jack the rear end out. Tunnel looks okay. There will have to be some work done on it. Let me set the camera down. Okay, so we'll return to this now. This side panel may be replaced. Again, every place you see these spots of rust, that's where the original factory spot welds were. And it's kind of weird to me that that actually rusts faster than the native metal does. Don't know. Because this metal here rusted just as fast as the welds did. But this is Chinesium, so maybe that's what the explanation is. Up inside, again, you can see where I tried scraping the tar off. This piece down here has got to be fixed. These braces are being replaced. This rear panel here, got to figure out what to do about that. This tunnel has to be fixed on the lower portion here. Not really a big deal. Okay. Is it going to hold? Perfect. I love it. Okay, so this down here, may have to fix this piece in here. This back panel here is all one piece. Now the problem I have, and I guess the question I'd have for you folks is, should I try just cutting this off and patching in the lower part of it, or should I replace the complete panel? Now this panel is welded to another panel that goes down back that way. Show you that right here, this panel. You can see across there. But it looks to me like the boot floor welds on top of this panel, and this panel welds on top of the close off that I just showed you. And the reason I say that is if you look right here, let's see if I can get you a nice shot of that. Spot weld where this is spot welded onto that panel. Spot weld where that panel is either welded onto the top of this, or it is spot welded onto the top of this and that other panel. So that's kind of where that's sitting. These new braces, I have the new braces for there, the new braces for the floor. These are the jacking braces. Got replacements for that. I got floor pans, so the floor pans I have are crappy. Let's see. Let's do a walk around this way. And we'll take a look at this other side. Damage right here. This piece here needs to be straightened around. Bear with me just a second. I need to find my other pin. And I will put a pin in the front up here while I talk about this side some more. Roll around gently. There. Man, I love the way that rotisserie works. You can see here, this is creased. This is buckled here. So this piece here needs to go up like this and get straightened around somehow. Gonna have to figure that out. Now, let's talk about these pieces here, which are really kind of your major frame component for the front end. It looks to me, this side over here I don't think has had any damage. It looks to me like this goes along and then curves up on the front. The neighbor's running his chainsaw. Good for him. And let's see. This is damaged. This will have to be pounded back, flattened out. Inner and outer rockers are being replaced. I talked about that. Welded up on this side. These are fairly straight. Got to be straightened up just a little bit. This piece here has a lot of damage on it. That's got to be repaired. The kick pan here has to be replaced or repaired at least. Probably the lower 4, 5, 6 inches of it. There's a good view of one of the jacking points on each side, and those jacking points lift up the front and rear of the car at the same time. Again, I've got replacement plates for these. And this spring box also looks okay. The inner part up there that's rusted out is that panel that comes down at an angle. This all looks pretty good. The spring mount looks good. This up in here looks good. Other than cleaning the crud off and throwing some de-rust stuff on it, probably not a lot of stuff to do. Again, the tunnel looks pretty good. This panel that drops down here looks pretty good. I think this right here shows that that panel, right, yeah, where can I do it? Right here. I think that shows that that panel clearly sits on top of this panel, and then the trunk, or the boot trunk, whatever you want to call it, sits on top of the both of them. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. Again, the boot floor is absolute trash. There's 2 panels, one on each side, that connect to the boot floor and connect to the rear of the upper body, and those will have to be replaced. This is rusted out, so this needs to be replaced. And you can see that inside that right there all needs to be replaced also. So let's see what else we've got. This right here, need to repair that, but it's not too terribly bad. The car is so perfectly balanced. Just to show you, one finger. Absolutely beautiful. One finger either way. All right, so got mine repair right there. I think I already talked about the fact this panel needs. I've got the A-pillars, inner and outers, got to replace those. This piece right here is worrisome to me because this is a T-shaped channel, and it gets spot welded or pinch welded, resistance welded, whatever you want to call it, between this panel and this panel, the wing and the rear deck. So ideally, the way to fix it is you split this apart, clean it all up, and then weld in the new panel. Other people have said, yeah, well, forget that. Basically what you want to do is just weld up these holes and then trim that piece down and epoxy in a piece, or some people have even just ground them off. Now, you notice this has no trunk lid. So when you want to work on fixing dents in here and every place else, you kind of have to tear this thing all apart. Now, I'm going to try to slide up in there. You can see some of how it's constructed. You can see a lot of the damage. But I'm not skinny enough to climb inside of this thing and work on it. So the question I have, folks, is how the hell do you fix that? I mean, do you literally try taking this all apart, which would mean, I don't know what that would mean. I mean, this goes, I'm tapping right about there, and that's about where this brace here comes up and hits back in here. I just don't see how the hell you get that all apart. So, my thinking on it is that I have heard and read that they actually sold a kit to make a trunk lid to go into one of these. Now, obviously, if this had a trunk lid, then getting in to fix all this stuff would be a hell of a lot easier. So, what I have done is I've taken the risk of ordering a trunk lid, which I think is for a newer Sprite, probably a 61, 62. And I'm going to see how close it is right in this area right here to see if I can cut it out and put that in. Originally it would not have had a trunk lid, but they did sell a kit. So it's kind of one of those things of somebody's probably done it in the past. So The question that I have for you folks is, on this panel that I showed you in here, do you think that I should try pulling out all of that panel, or just the other thing that I can do is let me grab the camera again. What I did here was I flanged this piece that I made so it would fit down over the original panel. I can do that same thing in here someplace, you know, like maybe right across here, and flange this. I want to take this out because I want to get in and treat the rust that's on the back side of that panel that drops down in the back. So I want to cut out whatever I can of this, but I can put a flange on it and flange that piece in, throw seam sealer on. By the time you put a carpet over it, nobody's going to see it and know it. I'll have to cut these off anyways to put these new braces in down here. Have to drill the spot welds out here and, you know, on these pieces. But I'm thinking the better thing to do is possibly cut across the top here, but more likely cut like right about in here, just above where these folds come in, and flange this piece, or maybe better yet, flange the piece that's going in. I'm not sure which. No, I'll flange this piece. Bear with me a second. If I put the flange so it goes down and in on this piece, that will stiffen this up quite a bit, and I will be able to put the other piece in and spot weld onto it. So that's why I'm thinking of flanging this piece. If I flange the other piece, it's going to look kind of weird. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about, and I would appreciate feedback from you folks on which way do you think I should do it. Should I try cutting that whole panel out and tear apart a lot of stuff that's right now solid? Or should I just do what's necessary to repair the bottom part of it and put on the other new braces? First time I've ever done this, so I really don't know which way to go on it. Your thoughts would be greatly appreciated, folks. So I think with that, I am going to wrap this video up, because the next stuff that I'm going to be doing is basically going to be probably getting more of the rusted, nasty stuff out of this. I can work on repairing the side of the tunnels. That's basically cut some metal, bend it, and form it into shape, and then weld it in. I can do that. I can work on straightening out these pieces up front that are twisted and bent out of shape, and get those into shape. And that'll give you folks a couple of weeks to think about, well, how would you do it? And that's what I want to know, is how would you do it? So again, thank you very much. If you've donated to the channel, I really appreciate it. It helps a lot. Sign up as a subscriber on Patreon at $5 a month if you can. Helps a lot. YouTube pays zero, absolutely nothing to me. Unless you're at the point where you've got 100,000 subscribers or more, you're probably not getting a dime out of YouTube. So, and even then, you're probably barely getting a dime. So, please, thank you for your patience as far as the chainsaw noise. I understand what he's doing, and I understand why he's doing it, and he's actually helping me out because those trees that he's getting rid of were just dumping a lot of shit onto my property, and that's a problem for me. And he's got a boat that he's trying to park over there, and he doesn't need them dumping shit on his property either. So that, I think, is going to be it. Thank you very much, folks. You have a blessed life.
Well, folks, that's it for this episode of BugeyeBob. I really appreciate you watching and hope that, like me, you've learned a few things to do or maybe not to do in this episode. Please like and comment on this video as it encourages YouTube to share it with others and helps grow the channel. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell to get notified when new videos are released. If you'd like to support this channel and save Lazarus from the recycle furnace, you can now make a one-time or recurring donation through PayPal. You can also support this restoration project by becoming a member at patreon.com/BugeyeBob. Patreon members get early access to the videos, and in the future will enjoy question and answer sessions and live streams. As this channel grows, future Patreon member benefits will include bonus or extended videos, member names in the credits, and the ability to suggest topics for future videos. You can follow this BugeyeBob restoration on YouTube and Facebook. You'll find the links in the description below for PayPal, Patreon, YouTube, and Facebook. Once again, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and supporting this channel.